Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV, the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. It's British Grand Prix week, and here we're of the British Grand Prix, and it is here. And Adam Bath, it's in its new configuration at last.
It's took its time, hasn't it? We're finally at the new layout of the Silverstone circuit. We were just saying before we went on air, some of the sponsors around the old layout aren't even in existence anymore. That's how long it's been since the Silverstone circuit has had a rescan on iRacing, and here it is. We're on the full layout, the full Arena Grand Prix layout. So we'll be starting at the wing, and I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen. One thing it is for certain is that it is a new track for all of the drivers, and that has led to a bit of a field spread in terms of lap times.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the drivers, some of the drivers have never driven this layout before, which I find hard to believe, but it is the case in a few of the. I think somebody we interviewed a couple of weeks ago did say they'd not driven the track. So yeah, and even for the ones who have driven the track, you know, there's still a learning curve. First time driving it on the sim, so we're going to get some good action. It's a long lap here, 2 minutes and about 10 seconds. So in the race, might be slightly longer, of course, a bit more fuel in the car. So yeah, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. You forget, if you have been to Silverstone, you forget exactly how big the track is. Oh, and it is 5.8 kilometers.
Yeah, it's one of the longest laps on the F1 calendar, and it probably is one of the longest laps we go to in the BSRTC. Last season, of course, we usually go to the Nordschleife, but I think this is probably the longest lap of the year. Championship standings to quickly run you through. We're now in the final straight before the showdown gets underway. We've just got 3 race meetings to go, and it's an Evolution Racing Team 1-2 at the top of the standings with Wojciech Savidovic and Jack Sedgwick. Then it's Jamie Rushworth in third. He knows how to get around this circuit in its old configuration. Let's see if it's going to be the same on the new layout. Sven Glatzel in 4th, Ross McFarlane 5th, Steve Baxter 6th. Then rounding out the top 10, Sakovic, Blake, Baker and Simmons in 10th. And of course, when the showdown gets underway, all those positions will be stacked up again. So if anybody does get a bit of a healthy point advantage over their rival, then that will be quickly eradicated with the arrival of the showdown, as the grid is now up on the screen.
Yeah, indeed, only bonus points will really count for an advantage there. And Jack Sedgwick has the advantage of starting on pole position. He will be leading the field into the fast Abbey curve, ahead of Ash Sutton by only 37 thousandths of a second. Wojciech Savidovic is in 3rd, with Sven Glatzel in 4th for V-Race, and then it's Stelin Chepelewski in 5th, Christian Rose in 6th, Ross McFarlane 7th, George Simmons is in 8th, and Stephen Baxter is in 9th. Interestingly, Baxter was top of the practice times, so didn't quite manage to get the lap together in qualifying. Dave Baker in 10th, Pete Harrod 11th, and Chris Wood is the leading AM driver in 12th. Pete Newman is 13th. 14th is Dan Brown, then it's Adam McNally, then it's Adam Hadfield, then it's Lewis Bibby. Maciek Sakovic is in 18th. Paul Smith is 19th. Max Wright is 20th. 21st is Robert Graham. 22nd is Michael Blake. 23rd, John Roberts. 24th is Jack McIntyre. 25th is James McRitchie. 26th for Kip Stevens. And it's Mark Woodhouse in 27th. William Daniels in 28th. Matt Bunn in 29th. Sean Gardner is 30th. And at the back, in 31st, is Jamie Rushworth. Right then.
Yeah, it's going to take all his skills to get around the circuit. He might even be starting from the pit lane. He hasn't appeared on the grid yet, from what I can see. So we've got 30 cars. You can just about see all of them. Getting ready to go. Here come the lights.
Lights are out. The race is on. It's a decent start by Sedgwick. Got away pretty well. Sutton away decently as well. Now, Abbey Curve is very fast in his Kia Optimus, and Sutton takes the lead. And that's brilliantly done. And it's going through Farm now. Sedgwick maintains over Savidovic. Now into the tight, twisty section of the Village and the Loop. And Adam, this is onto one of the better overtaking places, isn't it, in the Wellington Straight?
Yeah, onto Wellington Straight we go. Now, this is where we see all the slipstreaming whenever we come to the national layout. You can see all of the cars now as they're still streaming through the left-hander, but a good start from Ash Sutton. He has the lead. And watch out for one of the V-Racer cars looking up the inside of Chepelevsky going into Brooklyn. So now round the outside goes his teammate Baxter. If he can get that done up the inside into Luffield, that'd be a great move.
Yeah, that was very good from Baxter. Nicely done. Round the outside of Brooklands. Can be done just because of the nature of the corner. Got to be careful you don't get hung out to dry on the outside. Fallon is right in tow, literally. Simmons is just behind them, though, looking for a way through for Evolution Racing. And then you've got the few more CQR cars as well there. Rose, Baker, Harrod, and Newman. Somebody dropping down there, or? No, I don't think it was.
Oh, first bit of side-by-side action through Maggots and Beckett's. Of course, on the old layouts of this circuit, that'll just be grass and gravel there. They've got a bit of tarmac runoff area to help them. And now they're going through Chapel, which is a bit of a wider exit now, and onto the Hangar Straight. Someone taking the bike layout in the background.
The way that Silverstone have done these runoff areas, I think, is pretty much perfect. In that they've got a couple of meters of grass, and then it's onto the tarmac runoff area. So you will lose time if you do go immediately onto the grass. This is Glatzel having a look in at Wojciech Svidovic then into Vale, into the reprofiled club corner. She's now a double apex right-hander with quite a delay in the middle of it, Adam, as well. The second part takes a while to get to you.
It's much better in my opinion than the old one. Good way to set up the car in front. Now into Abbey at the end of the opening lap. Of course, we go right instead of into the Abbey chicane on the old layout. It's a much quicker corner, and in these cars, where there isn't too much in terms of downforce, it is pretty challenging.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of the Abbey corner on the old historic layout, isn't it? It's just flat out. And this time it's a right-hander though, not a left-hander. What was quite surreal for me is talking about this circuit as if it's new again.
No.
It's been in existence for a long time. 2010 was the first year that they ran this this configuration of the circuit. It's when I started doing league racing in 2010.
Well, at this point, 10 years ago, it looked like that this weekend was going to be the last time we were going to be at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix.
Well, you were barely in high school 10 years ago. That's how long it's taken to get the track scanned. But we digress on that one.
It's true. It is true. Yeah.
Sutton trying to maintain the lead over Sedgwick, then into Maggots and Beckett's. Very fast section here, and Sutton will know this circuit well. Most of the drivers will, to be honest. Sedgwick really setting him up nicely though through Chapel, Adam. He's got a great run onto the DRS straight.
Yeah, see, under the bridge we go, under the Hangar Straight bridge. Now towards Stowe. This is where Schumacher famously broke his leg in 1999, and Sedgwick up the inside.
Nice.
But the thing about Silverstone is that you can run it round the outside. There is grip out there. Sutton is going to take advantage. It's probably one of the widest circuits we go to all season, and he's going to get the lead back. Is he into Vale?
Oh, contact.
This is proper CQR versus ERT stuff going on here, and with that
Sutton's managed to get nearly a second lead out of that.
Yeah. Shades of Master and Hamilton there, or maybe Maldonado and Gutierrez going
what
through.
Was that?
Yeah, going through that one. But end of lap 2, Ross McFarlane is the one that has the fastest lap, 2:11.66. As they go to the
Luckily, no one ended up upside down like Maldonado or Gutierrez.
No, yeah, we haven't had that yet.
Still with no Sutton. Well, there's still time. There's 2 more races. Sutton still ploughs on then through the Aintree, isn't it? Onto the Wellington Straight.
Yeah, this is where Kimi Räikkönen had his rejoin and then that monumental crash.
Awful crash on the by the service road, wasn't it? Remember watching? Oh, contact in the background.
That's Paul Smith.
That might have been Paul Smith, was it? Yes, and it was Hadfield giving him the quarter panel, and Hadfield's just been quarter panel by Jack McIntyre. So there's absolutely no quarter being given in this one.
There it is again. Oh, Here we go a bit further actually. Let's have a look from the back of Paul. Here he is. So there's a car up the inside and then... Oh! Well, it didn't end in anything, but...
But then if you keep going, this is when McIntyre thinks there's a gap there. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't, but Hadfield closed the door quite dramatically.
Back to live fixtures and back to the Hangar Straight. There's an interesting 5-car train here made up of Ross McFarlane, who set the fastest lap last time round. And there's Simmons, his ERT rival. Then it's Christian Rose, Dave Baker and Pete Harrod towards the back end of the top 10. And this train shows no signs of splitting up, as you can see by the intervals down the timing tower. Everyone's pretty much within about a second of one another.
Bit of sliding around for Baxter going into Stowe. It's not the corner really for that, because you see a lot of it gives a lot of punishment to the tyres really. So you want to be as smooth as possible through Stoke. Bit of oversteer for the V-Racer car there. And like we said, Adam, Baxter was very, very quick in practice. Fastest man indeed for most of the session. So I wonder, are we going to see him? My point is, should McFarlane just let him go and maybe try to tag along?
Well, if they are going to switch the positions, they're going to have to be very clever about it, because obviously they don't want to lose any time to the car in front, Selin Chepelevsky. And if they did
Simmons is alongside Rose here
in the background, yeah. And I think Paul Smith might be in some trouble at the back of that shot as well. Oh no, there's his teammate Sakovic, I think, or maybe not. Many battles going on here.
Oh, it's this battle again. That's I'll be honest, that's probably Virgin illegal overtake there from Hadfield. He overtook Smith. He was pretty much off the circuit when he did that.
We'll see how this ends.
And it looked like he actually went off the circuit to make the pass.
See if Paul Smith could get this place back. If not, we'll have a look at a replay at how Hadfield was able to get the place. Misses the apex just a little bit through Copse, but there is that runoff area on the exit, a bit of the curb too, that saves the Automet car for now. But let's see how he got it done as they go through the first sector again. Oh, Kirok's all over the place as Paul Smith negotiates the Maggots and Beckett's complex. Oh,
Smith trying. Oh no, that isn't really what he wanted, but I think he might think that's fair game.
Oh, we'll
going by the antics at Brooklands.
Yeah, we'll throw that replay out the window. Then we might come back to that later, because here comes Chris Wood. Oh no, it's not Chris Wood.
All the way. Oh no, he's never going to make that, is he? Hadfield, I don't think. Going all the way around the outside of Stoke.
Up into Vale. Here comes the Automet not kill car again. Just not able to get by the V-Racer car there of McIntyre.
Quite. See Lewis Bibby just there looking in the background, Adam. He's a driver who's just come back to the series.
Indeed, yeah. At long last, we're going to get a look at this replay. If I can get the Apex logo to disappear off our screen, and maybe we can.
Oh.
Let's try again. Here it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's... I don't... Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but that's not the track, if you ask me, where he's gone to make that pass. It's all four wheels off.
Yeah, and if you look at the way Paul had the brake lights on, you was fully expecting him to not go around the outside, because that is a part of the track. But we're the commentators. We're not.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
We're going full on Jonathan Pierce, I think. There's a through Woodcote onto the national.
Well, they were all four wheels off through there as well, but there's no corner cutting apparently through. Oh, Sutton! Big moment through Copse Corner.
Now this is interesting. Into Maggots and Beckett's. Sedgwick should have the inside line, but
they're not going to give. Not going to give easily, these two.
Sutton straddling the sausage curve there.
Me. Don't want to get too much up on the sausage curves, because it just ruins your momentum. Good run again for Sedgwick. Unsurprisingly, he's going to get a good slipstream here. Wojciech Smidovic has a watching brief as well, so these two need to be careful of him. Is Sutton going to block the inside? I think he's confident of going around the outside, isn't he, again? It's really down to Jack to drive it into the corner a bit deeper than he has been doing, but it's a great attempt. Can he outbrake him on the outside?
He's trying.
Can he keep the car alongside? No, not quite. Not quite. Just too much of a tight angle, isn't it, through Vale?
He's going to have to somehow try and get the move done around the outside of Sutton, but as we saw down the hanger straight there, Sutton immediately positions the car on the outside going into Stowe to stop Sedgwick doing it. But 1, 2, 3, there they are. Sutton, Sedgwick, Savidovic. The power of S coming into full effect here as we are now into the second half of this race, and Sven Glatzel, who was challenging earlier, is now under pressure from Stelin Chepelevsky.
There goes Cheppy up the inside. Glatzel relegated to 5th position. I think he'll mind too much. Still a good result if he finishes there. He's got his 2 teammates behind him, not too far behind. And then it's Simmons battling with Christian Rose and Dave Baker. So this is the battle for the lower reaches of the top 10. We're going to go 3 wide down the Wellington Straight nearly.
Well, in the foreground there, Sutton was having to cut across from Sedgwick. We very nearly went 3 wide indeed between these 3. But it's going to be Simmons that maintains the position.
Oh.
Someone's been sideways as well. We saw a bit of tyre smoke there. Dan Brown and Adam McNally. This is a fight for the Pro-Am lead going on here. And you can tell.
See, that's a bit better. There wasn't really any track outside the white line used on that occasion. Have you seen that they've made some changes to the circuit for the Grand Prix? Where the gravel is going to be slightly closer to the... They've moved the gravel trap slightly closer to the circuit in a couple of places and replaced a couple of the tarmac runoff areas with gravel, which is a welcome change, I think, from the usual sort of sanitising of circuits.
Oh. Now I'm intrigued to see there if Brown cut the circuit. He did take a lot of inside curb. Great to hear about the track layout. Of course, it's a massive Sunday of sport in the UK. Lewis Hamilton pointed it out. We've got the Wimbledon final, we've got the Grand Prix, and we've got the cricket. And we've got the Cricket World Cup final. As off goes Dan Brown has that slowdown penalty. We did call it, and Sutton v Sedgwick. They're at it again, and Sedgwick's on the inside.
Very late on the brakes into Vale. Nothing Sutton can do this time. Might try the big long cutback though through the double apex. He's going to have the inside back at him. It's terrific stuff by Ash Sutton, and that is the racecraft of a BTCC champion. But can Sedgwick go round the outside in Abbey? I'd wager not, to be honest. And he hasn't, because you cannot really go too wide through there at all.
So difficult.
Have a look into Village.
Sutton needs in the space.
This is brilliant.
But the trait of this circuit is in Sutton's favour on the inside. But now if he can cut back, he tries. He should still have some decent straight line speed here. Here we go.
Is he too close to to really make the slipstream work for him though? What's the play here? Because you can go around the outside in Brooklyn. Sutton this time does defend the inside. Sedgwick going to try and go all the way around. Oh, if he can stay overlapping, I'll have to give him the space. And there is no space given. And this time Sedgwick is through.
Well then.
All the time you have to leave a space. You can hear Fernando Alonso in your head, can't you? Just when you're watching it.
We'll have a look at that in a moment. Let's see if Sutton can get the position back going into Copsey. He's not going to go on the inside, but he is going to be right on the bumper of that ART car. Uses all of the runoff track and then some on the exits.
It's going to be Stowe, isn't it, you'd think? Oh, is he going to go for it in maggots? Well, you don't really see that.
And you can see that Chepelevsky and Co are starting to close in a little bit too while this battle going on. Savidovic looking at the inside, going on the exit of Chapel. And here comes the CQR car. Is Sedgwick going to cover the outside? He's now in the lead, so he can afford to, but I think he's going to give Sutton that outside line.
And now we're back to square one again. Sedgwick slightly in front though, and that's what he does. He slides in front of Sutton. Oof. Oh, a bit of argy-bargy going on out on the track there today. And then on the brakes into Vale. They're still side by side. It's very clean though. I mean, there's a little bit of contact, yes, but no, there's a little bit of contact, but largely very, very respectful.
There, I said again. End of lap Oh, end of lap 7 now, onto lap 8.
Svidovic is really starting to get interested in this, isn't he? And he's not been hurting his tyres by fighting so hard like these two have.
Is he going to send it? No, he doesn't. This is where Raikkonen and Hamilton came together and really helped make last year's British Grand Prix pretty special. That and a few safety cars.
You can always guarantee a few crashes on the first lap, actually, given the fast corners that you've got at the start of the lap and then immediately the slow corners after it. Sergio Perez spinning in front of the pit lane exit was one particular highlight last season.
Oh, you're nearly taking out both Williams.
That's it. There were a couple of cars crashed, and then and of course the Raikkonen and Hamilton one that you mentioned. This is Christian Rose in P8. Now he's just ahead of Baker, then Newman, then Simmons, then Harrod. So 4 CQR cars and 1 Evolution Racing Team car.
A bit further down the field, there's a very close battle going on here between Will Daniels and Rob Graham.
Graham, yeah. Oh!
And in fact, it's the majority of the Pro-Am fields, because you've also got Mark Woodhouse. I can also see the Team Mad car there of Paul Smith in the background too. Of course, these are important positions in terms of the reverse grid, which we'll do at the end of this opening race. It might help them quite a bit. Meanwhile, oh no, Sedgwick immediate for his slowdown.
Oh.
And he drops way down the order, down to 7th. Dropping
like
down
a stone.
out of the top 6.
7th position now. Indeed. Now, this is a battle we've seen many times. Ash Sutton, Wojciech Svidovic, round 1 and 2. Round 1 of the race meeting is usually where we see these two going for it. So, what's it going to be this time? How much are they willing to risk for the race victory? This is what happened to Sedgwick then.
Yeah, apologies for the rewinding, but here we go. In fact, let's go on board with Wojciech, because we'll get a definite view to see if he cut the circuit from here. Here it is, going into Maggots and Beckett's. That's fine. That looks okay. Not as bad as what we saw with Dan Brown. It's going to be on the exit of... Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that'll be the one.
And it'll be a big one too, because that's probably one of the quicker corners on the circuit. So that's why...
In fairness, he was 4 wheels off on about 4 of those 5 apexes, though he was.
Oh, well, at least we're getting to grips of how iRacing have put the slowdown thresholds on these corners anyway.
Hey, you've got to test the waters. That's why they're going so far inside on Woodcote, really, isn't it? Because they're not getting punished for it.
Well, 1 CQR and 1 Evolution Racing Team, well, 2 of those drivers do battle. Here another 2. It's Pete Newman versus George Simmons, with Pete Harrod keeping a watching brief in 12th.
Disappearing is Simmons as well, which isn't helping the two guys fight him there. Simmons, Newman and Harrod. Pete Newman used to have his own team in the BSRTC, of course, a few seasons ago.
Took a 1-2-3.
Oh, that might be a slowdown.
Well, how much off? Yeah, how much of the track do you want? As Simmons pretty much was on the grass on the inside of Maggots.
Whatever it is, it's discombobulated him and Pete Newman, because Newman's Simmons was looking every single which way to try and get past Newman. He's got a good run down the hanger straight now. If he's not careful, Newman could lose 2 places here. Simmons trying around the outside, and Newman holds the middle of the corner at Stowe, which does mean that he's managed to stave him off for another lap. It's still 0.2 of a second at the front as well. Sutton and Svidovic going on to the final lap then. Is Wojciech Svidovic going to try something here?
Well, there's plenty of places to do it, as we now finally arrive at the battle for the lead. Ash Sutton has pretty much led every single lap so far in this race since taking the lead lights out. Oh, Svidovic clobbers that inside sausage curb there.
You have to believe that Svidovic has more tyres left.
He hasn't really had to do much in terms of getting by these guys. Of course, he got past Sedgwick courtesy of his teammate's slowdown penalty. What about now when he doesn't have to go for the win, of course. He has got a healthy lead at the top of the championship standings, but those bonus points will be so crucial when we get to the showdown.
Oh, look at this. How close Wojciech Savidovic is getting. He's going to have an opportunity. It's going to be into Stowe Corner on the final lap, let's face it.
Shades of Vettel v Alonso here in 2014. Over the National Straight. Wonder if we'll ever come back here again. And this, of course, will be probably the only time we ever see the Kia Optimas at Silverstone GP, because we're anticipating the arrival of the new TCR for next season.
That's it. So it's good that the Kias have finally got a chance to race it. Like I say, it may only be one time. Oh, you can hear Sutton's tyres screeching. They say they don't want any more. It's the final lap. They won't have to last much longer, but Savidovic with a nice run through Beckett's and then Chappell. Quarter of a second, Adam. If he's going to do it, it's going to be into Stowe here.
See if he can do it. He's going to move over to the outside here. Is Savidovic going to surprise one up the inside? He is. But Sutton is very late on the brakes. It's still not over. Oh.
Veils a possibility here. Sutton has to block it. You think he has to block the inside here. Has done. Goes back to the middle.
Someone's off in the back.
He's going to go the long cut back, Adam. Savidovic is going to go for the long... Oh, he's parked it! He's absolutely parked it, Sutton. Brilliant stuff. And that's how you get the win at Silverstone. He's done it.
Great win. So takes the opening race victory of the day. Savidovic second, just under 2 tenths away, a second away. Selin Shepelevsky managed to get into third place right at the very end, but it was Steve Baxter that has come across the line. The car is severely wrecked, and this all happened just while we were looking at the battle for the lead. Pro-Am victory, by the way, goes to Dan Brown. There he is. He finishes in...
Was he crashed off pretty much at the line, Baxter, was he?
He got quarter panelled on the exit of Stowe. We just saw a hint of orange in the background of the shot when we saw the battle for the lead. Let me just see if I can find it on the event viewer for you. Here it is. So we've got Sedgwick on our left.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Right into the wall. I think he was pretty fortunate, actually. He didn't lose that much time. He either didn't... I mean, you would have thought he would have seen Cedric. I wonder if he was trying to block. But I don't think Cedric could do anything about that, to be honest. Tough one. It's on board with Baxter. I don't think you could go much further right if you're Sedgwick there. But to be honest, to be fair for Baxter, he only lost a couple of places. It wasn't too bad in the end.
Well, maybe not. I think he might not have served a slowdown penalty because he has been...
He's not been kicked to the back, has he?
I think he's been demoted to 28th.
Oh, you have to get your slowdown served. Okay, then maybe it is bad then in the end.
Well, it might still work out for him because if there's somebody that's one lap down behind him, he might get the full -1. Or if we get a massive number, it might still work out for him too. But we'll get the race results up and we will debrief from there. Right then.
Indeed.
So Ash Sutton wins the opening race of the day, but it's the Evolution Racing team duo of Savidovic and Shepelevsky that complete the podium. Sven Glatzel finishes in 4th with his teammate McFarlane in 5th. Then Jack Sedgwick in 6th place. We saw what happened just towards the end there, colliding with Steve Baxter. Then a quartet of CQR cars, Rose and Baker for CQR, and then Academy's Newman and CQR's Pete Harrod. Then it's George Simmons in 11th. Then top AM is Dan Brown. Vanna McNally in 2nd place in that class. 14th place for Chris Wood. Then we've got Adam Hadfield, who managed to stay ahead of Paul Smith in the end, despite the potential off-track manoeuvre. Then it's Maciek Sakovic, Will Daniels. Then it's Jack McIntyre, Mark Woodhouse, Matt Bunn. Then it's Kip Stevens, Rob Graham, Lewis Bibby there for himself. Then Max Wright in 25th. Then John Roberts, Sean Gardner there. Then Steve Baxter, 1 lap down in the end in 28th. James McRitchie, Michael Blake, 9 laps down. Didn't see what happened to him. Maybe we can find that on the replays. I don't think I can see it. Then it's Jamie Rushworth in 31st, and he didn't take the start. So hopefully we see Jamie again in race 2 or race 3.
Well, we're going to see what's going to happen now as the reverse grid wheel is going to come into play. I'm really excited to see who's going to be on pole. It could be great.
Yeah, me too. Let's get the wheel up then and spin it and see who's going to be on the pole for the second race. We can have as little as in the 20s. We could have literally everybody, potentially. Everybody that's classified anyway. Presco wheel's going to come up now. And then we'll be ready to go. Here it is. And let's spin the wheel now to find out who's going to be on pole for race 2 of the BSRTC here at the new Silverstone. Well, it was very nearly full -4, but instead it's going to be 18. So who's that going to be on the pole for race 2?
18 is going to be Will Daniels. So that's going to be good for V Racers. They're going to have a car on pole. So regardless, it wasn't Baxter, but it was Will Daniels. So we'll see what he can do from pole when we come back after the break here on Apex Racing TV as the BSRTC continues at Silverstone.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. 3, 2, 1, now. All clear, punch it. Great job, you did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have.
Welcome back to Silverstone for the BSRTC round 2 of the evening. Here's the grid in front of you. Will Daniels takes pole position off the reverse grid with Maciej Sakovic in second, Paul Smith in third, Adam Hadfield in fourth, Chris Wood in fifth, then Adam McNally in sixth. Race 1 winner, Ash Sutton, starts down in 18th place as you see the rest of the grid scrolling through on the screen. Just a few seconds before the green light, we're going to be away for another 20 minutes of action. Red lights are on here at Silverstone again. Green light is on. Terrific start by Daniels. Really got away well off the pole position slot. Sakovic away decently as well. Into Abbey then. Hadfield trying to go around the outside of Sakovic. See what happens behind the leader, Daniels. They go into Village.
Oh, very nose to tail in the midfield there. Those are some of the drivers that are at the very front of the field in race 1, having their work cut out, going through the slowest part of the circuit now onto the back straight, and were 3 wide in some places.
Yeah, there were 2 lots of 3 wide going between Village and the Loop, but now onto the Wellington Straight. Somebody running very wide onto the Raikkonen line. That was Christian Rose, who's lost 4 places as a result. Make that 5, make that 6 places for Rose. In fact, a couple of drivers dropping way down the order. I think Rose has dropped down to 24th somehow, but here's Svidovic and here's car 10. Pushing hard on him now is Glatzel on the inside. Svidovic has managed to get ahead of Ash Sutton, which isn't usual on the opening lap.
Yeah, 7 positions.
Here comes Hadfield for the lead.
Oh yeah, around the outside.
Oh,
it goes Daniels anyway.
Well recovered. It was almost seamless, was that? As Daniel's still leading ahead of Hadfield then. Hadfield with some very, very good pace on this opening lap. Seems to have a lot of grip. Good traction, and we can see that here. That car's really pushing nicely out of Chapel. Which side's he going to go? He's going to go to the outside on into Stowe.
Big opportunity for Team Mad. Let's see what Ultimate Not Kill can do. Around the outside goes Hadfield. This is what Sutton was able to do. They make a little bit of contact. Fortunately that they don't both run out wide. It looks like Hadfield is still on the circuit. They go underneath our camera position here into Vale. And it's going to be a change for the lead. Yes, through goes Hadfield. Ultimate Not Killed to the front at the end of the opening lap.
Yeah, good driving by Hadfield. Bit of a messy race in the first one.
Oh,
At times. Oh, massive hit on the curb. Although, slow down penalty. Slow down penalty. And that is an absolute killer on, well, what was the end of the opening lap. He could be well down the order by the time he served that.
just looking at it now, what a disaster that is for Daniel Brown. He has got going again in P8, so it's not totally the end of the world. But he is.
Well, Daniels, isn't it?
Oh, Daniels, yeah, dear me. Yeah, Daniels is all the way in.
Sutton's crashed, apparently.
A few cars have, including Will Daniels. Let's have a look at what happened. Well, Daniels is just in front of us. He's probably still serving his slowdown, you know. Oh, dear.
Oh, Bosch! Oh, that's... Oh, dear. Well, that was Glatzel into Sutton, and then Sutton ended up torpedoing into the V-Racer teammate of Glatzel, who was car 112, being Will Daniels, of course, the aforementioned. So he did indeed get crashed into as he was serving his penalty.
Just trying to find the V-Racer car.
He's just on the outside and he just gets absolutely speared.
Here it is, on board with Glatzel.
Look, he's just going to the outside to try and get out of the way. Bang! Oh,
Dear me.
Oh, dearie me.
Right then, back with the action. And just before it all kicked off at the end of the opening lap, I was saying it's a great opportunity for Team Maz here. They've got Sakovic in second, Smith in third, and they've got Chris Wood there in sixth place. So, good opportunity for them to get some points on the board, but it's Hadfield that's leading, and here comes Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons was quick in race 1, but didn't do the best job of getting through the traffic. Now having a look at Smith into Vale. Should be an easy one done actually for Simmons, as he's got really nice high ground into that corner.
Literally.
Hops up over the curb. Oh! Disappeared for a second. And now for the lead is Sakovic.
Wheel to wheel for the lead here over the line. Fastest lap of the race by Simmons. He's right onto the back of these guys.
Oh, Sakovic was very slow on the straight. Didn't get a good run at all.
Oh, back up the inside goes Sakovic. Can Paul Smith benefit from any of this? There's just so much room on the outside there that the Kia Optima is able to nip up the inside and just about stay in there.
Do they have any wider camera angle of that section, do they? I wonder.
We'll have a look the next time we come around. I'll have a look.
Because they look very low, some of these cameras. It's obviously not your fault, you didn't make them, but the... yeah, just look at it very low and kind of long shots.
I think it's the whole FOM, isn't it? They, I know they want to try and get the cameras as low down to the ground so you can sense the speed of these new F1 cars. There's definitely no need to see the sense of speed in these Kia Optimas as we go through the right-hander. So Woodcote.
I was just having this discussion with a colleague actually the other day about why, even though F1 cars are the fastest they've ever been, why people somehow perceive them as looking slow. It is the extra weight, isn't it? But also I feel like the fact that we have a better television picture now, HD and 4K and all this, it just smooths everything out, doesn't it? It makes it look a lot more detailed. So the cars kind of look a bit lazier almost.
You definitely get that with the onboard cameras, that's for sure. A slowdown penalty for 2 drivers.
Oh, the onboard cameras, by the way, the onboard cameras used to look terrifying, didn't they, when they were in standard definition and all breaking up and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Just look absolutely awful to drive.
Kip Stevens, slowdown penalty for him. Wheel to wheel between, that was one of the CQR cars, I think. And also, we've got a decent battle going on here. This is Ross McFarlane. This is also Wojciech Savidovic. And behind them is Ash Sutton with that damage. He's still on a comeback trail. Oh!
That's crazy. Oh, my word. Almost into Savidovic. What's going on with that?
Pro-Am leader remains Hadfield. Here they go into the section. Here it is from the reverse angle. A bit wider for you there. Up the inside goes the ERT car.
I stood there actually where that camera angle is. It's quite a good. You actually get an appreciation. There's actually a fair. There's a fair elevation change through that section, which you don't really notice.
I stood around about here last season when Vettel got past Bottas and very sunburnt. Lap 4.
Can you imagine? Actually, it was very, very hot this time last year.
Well,
that was when everything was brown, really, wasn't it? Around the track, all the grass and things.
Yeah, and an airfield like Silverstone, there's nowhere to hide in terms of shade. Yeah, he got in the car, and yeah, that was pretty painful afterwards. My own fault.
Well,
though.
you know how cold it is when we've gone there in like Easter time. So for how cold it can be then, it's probably how hot it can be on a good day.
True. Meteorology.
But yeah, by ApexRacingTV. Now here's
drift.
Close between Hadfield and Simmons. Hanging on for dear life through maggots there. Simmons got a good run out of Chapel though, didn't he? Oh, he's gone wide. He was too good of a run. He cut the course.
Oh. And that's music to Team Adzi as through into second goes Sakovic, down up into third goes Paul Smith, and after all this, it's going to be down to 9th, or maybe even worse than that, out of the top 10 almost for George Simmons.
Frankly, it's unbelievable, isn't it? We said it looked. That's the thing. What a lot of drivers have done so far, though, they've tried to gain so much of an advantage onto the hanger straight. They've made a mess of it, and he didn't need to Simmons, did he? He was much quicker.
Well, there
Much
it is.
quicker, Adam. But look at that. He's in a different county there.
Now what's this going to do in terms of Hadfield's lead? It's half a second now between him and Maciej Sakovic. Paul Smith in third. Probably has to worry about Adam McNally for now. We've almost got two Adams on the podium here.
There you go.
On the
Where are
brakes.
you in all this?
Well, it is payday on Monday. Maybe a wheel. Oh!
Hey, there you go. Sutton, by the way, just took Savidovic, and then a lap later he's battling out with McFarlane, and these two are having a right ding-dong battle. Sutton, the damage seems to be affecting him a little bit. McFarlane very quick though in the slow stuff, and he stays in front in 13th place, getting a decent toe off of Sven Glatzel as well.
Oh!
So allows him to keep the place for now, but he goes for a big dive, does Sutton. Up the inside into Brooklands. Has he made that one work? Oh, you bet he has. That was a fantastic move.
Licks the stamp and sent it. Not licks the envelope and sent it.
First
like,
class.
God, he said, yeah. And a great battle further ahead. This is Dan Brown. This is Chris Wood too. Going into the right-hander at Copse. That's very close.
Oh, no. Contact.
Oh, gone. That's Simmons trying to get some of the positions back.
That's been happening for him all evening.
Oh,
Oh, that was close to another corner cut. It's really got to be careful here.
oh dear. Well, this could be Chris Wood
Wood's
on
made
a
a mess of it.
yeah. He's made a bit of a compromising line there.
It's a bit of a dog's breakfast through Beckett's, but he might get away with this, you know. Depends how quick he is through Stowe. This is the battle for 6th place.
Oh. Team Madcar does look pretty quick in a
It's
straight
wide.
line. Oh, where's he going?
Very wide. Well off. Well off the track. And he's on the gravel, and he realised that maybe wasn't a good idea.
May have received word that he may have received word that if he goes off like that and then comes back on, he may get a slowdown penalty. Oh,
Or worse, disqualified. You don't want that. Seen that happen before.
Dave Baker here, right behind Adam McNally. Paul Smith's been able to shake off the attention of the XI Energy racing car and has now got about 2/3 of a second in hand over Adam there in 4th. Top 4 all
Was
land
it
drivers.
Virginia where someone spun off and then they went back on like a corner or two later than maybe they could have done, and
Oh, there was
ended
Max.
up getting disqualified. Well, no, that was a different one. I feel like someone might have got accidentally disqualified once for that. I can't remember exactly how. Here comes Sutton then on McFarlane. He's got a slightly better straight line speed, McFarlane, but that'll be marginal with the track limits as well. But I think he's going to get away with it, the Scotsman.
Through the sweeping woodcut we go. You can see the gravel trap is a bit far away there. I wonder if that's one of the areas where it might have been moved back. Oh, he's not giving him a minute's peace here, is he? Go for the right-hander. I'm back on Wimbledon duty tomorrow.
Oh,
A lot of invitation games at the moment, which for the viewers probably not as enthralling as watching someone at the peak of their powers.
the invitation games are good though. I do think the senior stuff is excellent a lot of the time. Speaking of which, my goodness.
Wow.
My goodness. We're going to be 4 wide here nearly.
Careful.
Oh, we're certainly 3 wide. Bit of pushing and shoving. Oh, you've got to be careful there, lads. This is not going to go well.
Oh,
It's not going to go well.
4 wide.
Oh my God. Into Vale. Hold your breath, chaps. Who's that up the middle? McIntyre went up the middle. Brown comes away in the lead.
Zavidovic and Sutton have managed to just about survive that. Stelin Shepelevsky is close at hand. I think if you didn't ever think everybody in the whole stream leant back in their chair when they saw that then.
Wow, excellent.
And these guys continue. It is very close between Adam McNally and George Simmons. I noticed this was very, very close while we were looking at that battle. Oh, and a bit close for comfort as up the inside there goes Simmons, almost on Dave Baker. Paul Smith doing a good job of keeping all these lost at bay.
Oh yeah, I mean, oh, unbelievable! I can't get over that.
Well, this is only our first race meeting with this new Silverstone, and it's the one and only time we're probably going to see it in the Kia Optima. It's putting on a good show.
Oh yeah, I mean they won't be wanting to get rid of the Kia, will they, after this?
Oh dear!
Oh, crash!
Now that was Pete Harrod getting run into there by what looked like Steve Baxter, and can't tell whether that Baxter's going to try and get back up the inside into Copse here. Let's see if he can. He's a bit too far away at this moment in time to get anything done. Oh, maybe not. As Harrod runs wide.
Harrod missing most of the corner. Baxter trying to take advantage.
That's good by Baxter there.
Lifted off very early.
Baxter, biggest.
We know he's playing. We know for a fact he's playing the championship game, though, don't we, Baxter?
Look at that, 20 places gained in this one already, and we're only 7 laps into it. 2 cars slipstreaming at the same time. Paul Smith somewhere up the further in front. He's also trying to get past.
Baxter going for the inside, trying to get that position back off Pete Harrod, P7.
He's got that done. Meanwhile, Paul Smith's podium is at stake. Baker up the inside, Smith to the outside. Oh my goodness me!
Boing!
Now, if that was the Kia Optima a few years ago, I wouldn't have been surprised if it would have either taken off or would have just rolled over completely.
He would have ended up going into the stand, I think. No. Simmons. Oh my God, he had to hit the brakes there, you know. All this allowing Smith to get away, and he's going to be loving this. There's contact between Baker and Simmons.
This allows McNally back into the action here.
Oh my word!
Look
at McNally.
No, not too much grip out there.
He's trying all the way around the outside.
It is a Pro-Am 1-2-3 with Hadfield half a second ahead of Sakovic, and then it's Paul Smith trying to keep it a Pro-Am 1-2-3 in 3rd place. But with 2 and a bit laps to go, the question is for how much longer?
Nicely done by Smith. He parks that right on the apex. Means that Simmons cannot go round the outside. He can't go on the inside either. It's good driving by Smith. It's 5 seconds off of the lead now, but he's not going to care about that. Placing his car precisely where he needs to, Adam, but
what if he can
is it going to be enough? He's going to have more grip on the inside. Off goes Simmons, really running to the outside. The sun beats down now on Silverstone.
Now that move, he did go around the outside, but did he use the runoff air on the exit to make sure that he got it done? It was still a pretty good move. I must say
it's
that.
very good. Oh well, there could be a chance here to fight back for Smith.
Should have slowed down
penalty, is it? Or is he just letting Smith through? I think it might be an iRacing adjudicated penalty here. Or is he just giving that one? Did he feel, actually, Adam? Are we seeing great sportsmanship here? Is it Simmons that thought he'd got the move done illegally?
Well, I might have to look at a replay in a moment, but this is really...
Oh, no!
Oh, bang!
Oh, Smith's been hit by Simmons again. It is all super close behind, Adam. Look at the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's about 15 cars behind Paul Smith. Well, it's a Smith train.
They're all there. They look like ants from up there. But
that's the ultra blimp, that one, isn't it?
Well, we could probably call it the drone cam. However, this is an airfield, and we know what happens when drones are sighted there. As into the village section we go again. Oh, Paul Smith vaulting over the curb, and he might be at a disadvantage now.
Oh, he's in a lot of bother now, I think.
He's going to have to defend as if his life depends on it here.
What good running built up through the slow section just evaporates with that one slight misjudgment.
Simmons is trying to go all the way around the outside, and Smith carries so much speed in the apex of Brooklands. But is he going to have to yield? Round the outside of Luffield he goes, though, Adam. He's not going to give in.
Riding on board with Dave Baker here, who'll be looking to benefit from both of these guys going off, and he might just be about to be able to here.
Where's he going to go, though? Can he go up the inside? Oh, I wouldn't. Oh, dear. I wouldn't go up the inside into Copse Corner.
Paul
Simmons
Smith
trying it. Smith understeers off, and that's going to be the lead of this battle for Simmons.
Here he goes. Oh, no, where's he going?
Oh, Simmons! What's happened?
Did he just throw it at the corner too much?
I think he did. He might have got a twitch on. I just got a twitch on the middle of the corner. We'll see this into stow, Adam, and I think we're going to have to go to the front because it's down to 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, we're about to start the final lap. Paul Smith.
Smith's all over the place.
Ducking about this way and that down the hanger straight. 3 wide as well in the background. There's Adam McNally trying to get by somebody. 58.
Can Smith get onto the podium? Can Baker take it away?
Oh, now, yeah, he's shaking off George Simmons. Now he's got to try and keep Dave Baker at bay now. Oh, I think he might just be about to be set up here. White flag in the air, but...
Oh, he tried to park it on the apex. He didn't quite manage it.
One more lap to go. They all go off, going through the final corner.
They're well off there, aren't they? 2/10 at the front, Adam. 2/10. Adam Hadfield, he's got 1 lap to hold on. Can he do it?
Why can't we have split screen? This is too good to watch. Here it is.
What can he do? What can Maciej Sakovic do to combat the Automek Knockhill car? Can't remember when the last time Automek Knockhill got a win in this championship, Adam. You might know better than me, but it's been a while, I think, for them.
You can see the positions changing about on the time screen. We'll have a look at what happens at the end. But Adam Hadfield, yeah, trying to bring the good times back to Automek Knockhill. They have won races before, but very, very occasionally as we go on through Luffield onto the front straight again. Adam Hadfield has done it brilliantly up until this moment. Can he keep it going for half a lap as we cross the national start-finish line now to go into Copse? Paul Smith still valiantly holding on.
He can and not he canny, because the Scottish team, they're hoping to be on the top step of the podium. Maciej Sakovic, Polish driver, driving for Team Mad. He'll be hoping that he can get them onto the top step. And of course make history in the first meeting of the BSRTC at this Silverstone GP. 4/10 it is now, Adam, down the hanger straight. It looks like Hadfield has it, but we've seen in the past, just even in this meeting, what can happen.
Alright, just a few more corners to go. Can Hadfield just nail them and get a victory here? Sakovic using all the circuit and then some. It looks like Baker might just... slow down penalty. He did run a bit too wide going through the exit of Stowe. It looks like it's going to be a race victory for Hadfield.
Adam Hadfield then. He's gonna win the race for Automek Knockhill at Silverstone. Second for Sakovic. What's happening for third? Oh, it's going to be very close. They're going to be almost side by side across the line. And Paul Smith holds on to the podium. That is a tremendous result for him. Dave Baker in 4th place. Simmons in 5th. 6th for Hadfield. For Harrod, sorry. But it's Adam Hadfield who takes the glory in race 2. Terrific stuff by him. Brilliant. Brilliant from Hadfield. 4th on the grid. Great couple of laps at the beginning, and that helped him.
He didn't get much love in terms of the airtime on the broadcast, but a great result by all 3 of them as well. A complete wipe out of the podium by the Pro-Am class. Maciej Sakovic getting it done there, but I still believe he is a Pro-Am anyway. I'm sure I'll get a message at some point saying he isn't. Paul Smith, though, keeping former champion Dave Baker at bay towards the end and keeping George Simmons behind him too. Great result for quite a lot of those drivers, and you can see as well. When we get the race results up in a moment, you'll be able to see just how little the time differences are between all of these cars as they came across the line there, particularly 7th all the way down to 15th.
Yeah, just again a testament to the BSRTC, and like you said, this wasn't like half a second between cars. This was 1/10 here, 2/10 there. Let's have a look at it.
Well, this is what happened to Simmons.
Oh, he loses the rear.
Yeah.
I think he loses the rear a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Just a bit. And that's how he was able to get going from there. Let's get to the start of the last lap. At this point, you can see the free wide, potentially free wide going on. Baker defending, and we saw all this before we cut to the front. Oh, I think Sutton might have got DQ'd, you know, at some point on this last lap. Where is he? There he is. He might be the best car to look at from here as we get onto the final lap. Oh, bang, over the sausage curb goes one of the V-Racer cars there. That looked like it may have been Will Daniels. Into turn 1. Everybody skating all over. There's Hadfield. Sutton is
McNally, that is, sorry.
Oh, so yeah, McNally.
It was called Adam, you were close. Oh yeah, and then Sutton rubbing door handles with car 12, which is McIntyre, is it?
12 is
it car 12? Am I blind?
12 is Daniels.
Car 12 is Baxter, sorry.
Oh, Baxter. It doesn't help that they have one that is 112 and 12, yeah. Then a bit further up the field, you can see there side by side between that will almost certainly be Simmons and car 4, that is Harrod.
All the CQR cars seem to have just found each other, haven't they, in these last couple of races?
Simmons at this point then has to turn his attention away from the CQR car in front and worry about Harrod behind him. Harrod gets up the inside into Copse.
They leave just enough space. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
And then watch out for Sutton and also the other CQR car there going into Maggots and Beckett's.
Do you think Sutton gets DQ'd in the S's section?
I think he does get D. I'm now starting to question whether he actually made it back or not. Oh yeah, well there's a slowdown.
Finished 30th, yeah, he would have been DQ'd. He didn't get DQ'd for not serving his slowdown, did he?
I wonder if he's going to get DQ'd in the complex at Vale or something on the final lap.
Dear.
We can see Paul Smith just defending how his life depended on it there. Someone
on the inside for another V-Racer car into Stowe. That was full send from, I think it was McFarlane, car 3.
Sutton.
What happens?
Oh, he gets DQ'd by his own teammate.
It's Newman, and that might be.
Newman gets hit. Newman gets hit behind by McNally, doesn't he?
Oh, on the way in, yeah. So,
yeah.
Can we look at it from McNally, maybe?
Yeah, getting his camera now. Here it is.
So we can see him love tap the back of Newman's car. Duff.
Oh, it continues.
Oh, again.
And then Benetti goes. Yeah.
Oh dear. And then,
and across the line. Yeah.
What a finish.
Well, after all that, we got the result, and we've got one more race to go too. So let's.
If the Grand Prix's like that, then I think we can just quit watching F1 because they'll have seen it all.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Adam Hadfield wins then. Paul Smith in second. Dave Baker in third. We've lost someone from that top 3, haven't we?
Sakovic.
Did he not serve a slowdown? Oh no.
He did have a slowdown, but I guess he's botched it slightly.
Yeah, he's down in 27th. Well, so our complete wipe out of the podium by the Pro-Am category is gone. Dave Baker gets onto it in the end. He inherits that final place on the podium. Paul Smith, though, gets a second place. Well done. Josh Simmons in 4th. 5th for Pete Harrod. Then it's Pete Newman in 6th. Ross McFarlane and Steve Baxter. Adam McNally and Dan Brown there rounding out the top 10. Then it's Shepelevsky and Savidovic, 11th and 12th. Glatzel and McIntyre. Then it's Bibby, Chris Woods, Max Wright and Michael Blake there finishing the race in P18. 19th for Crip Stevens and Matt Bunn in 20th. Then it's Will Daniel, Sean Garner. Then it's James McRitchie in 23rd. Mark Woodhouse started from the pit lane, I think, and finished in P24. Then John Roberts, Rob Graham, Magic Sakovic, there he is. That slowdown penalty getting added onto his race time. finishing in P27. Jack Sedgwick in P28. Is that slowdown too? Because I don't remember him dropping all that way down the order towards the end.
I'll have a look.
And then it's Christian Rose and Ash Sutton. Sutton finishing 1 lap down in the end. In fact, you wouldn't believe it, but in a race as action-packed as that, everybody finished. Apart from Sutton, who got DQ'd within, I don't know, walking distance of the line.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, and look at the time gaps as well. If you go back to the front page, the time gaps are just they're ridiculous, aren't they? 9.8 seconds for P2, down to 14.3 seconds for P15. Less than 5 seconds between second and 15th.
You wouldn't think you'd be able to fit 13 Kia Optimas in that amount of space, but they're somehow
That's
able
all.
to.
I mean, it bodes well for the Audi, doesn't it? And when that comes, I tell you, this
Right.
league's so close.
One more race to go. Could he get any better? Well,
It could. It depends who goes on pole, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, if we get a full, if we get a 4-1, I should say, it's going to be Christian Rose on the front of the grid. So we'll see where that happens. If we do get I was about to say we get a number bigger than 30, it might be Ash Sutton's day, but we don't have a number bigger than 30 on the wheel. So, sorry Ash, you're going to be starting at the back, but I'm sure you like it that way anyway. Here we go. For the final time tonight, let's spin the wheel. God, this wasn't going to stop.
It's a joke wheel that just keeps going round.
One day it'll stop. It was going to be 4 minus 3, and that would have been minus 1 would have been Rose, minus 2 Cedric. It would have been Sakovic back on the pole, but no, it's 21.
Daniels again.
It is Daniels again.
So he's going to get another bash at it. Let's see how he does when we come back on Apex Racing TV. We've got one more round from Silverstone. Please don't miss it.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. 3, 2, 1, now. All clear, punch it. Great job, you did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Silverstone for the BSRTC race 3 of the evening at the Silverstone GP. First time we've ever been here, and the last time probably for the Kia Optima before we go to the Audi TCR car in a few months' time, maybe imminently. Who knows? We don't exactly know when it's coming, but what we do know is that Will Daniels once again starts on pole position. It's car 112, and then it's car 111. Matt Bunn, P2. Kip Stevens in third, Michael Blake in fourth, and Max Wright in fifth. And the winner of race 2, Adam Hadfield, his reward is a 21st place start. Here we are then. Just a few seconds to go before the start then. Revs are rising. Drivers are ready. Lights are off. The race is on. Good start by Daniels. Really good start by Daniels, actually. He's practiced that already from pole position. He's already had a chance at that, but stretching his legs already through the first sector. Everybody getting through. Abbey okay. No crashes. Blake having a go on Stevens into Village. No contact there, mercifully. And it looks like, Adam, everybody's got through okay and onto the Wellington Straight.
Yeah, pretty calm start. We had that in race 2 as well, and it eventually started to heat up, but everybody just keeping their powder dry at the moment. But now the slipstreaming can begin, and now some of the overtakes can take place too. Chepelevsky in the mix, a bit of smoke up ahead as the inside goes Chepelevsky, in fact, and a few other cars trying to get by one another too going into Luffield. Onto the out of Luffield we go now and through Woodcut. That is Sven Glatzel versus Lewis Bibby that we are looking at.
Yeah, good to see Bibby back in the championship. Took a bit of time out. Mixing it with the veterans of the series, and the regulars. He's got a good run out of Copse Corner. Might be able to challenge Glatzel into the fast section. Not quite. That's where the gravel's going to be, Adam, on the left of there, I believe. So, good move, I think, by track organisers. As off goes 2 cars in the background. That's Newman. It looked like maybe an auto-make Knock Hill. It might have been Hadfield.
Oh, slow down penalty for... blown engine for somebody.
Oh, that's... Kip Stevens gone out of the race. Spun the motor. And that's his evening over.
Oh.
Up in smoke, well and truly. What's this?
Somebody going wide in...
Roberts.
Oh, hello. It's Brown. And maybe a brown trouser moment for him. I saw him flying across the back of the shot. Oh, dear.
Oh, he's just hit John Roberts.
Oh, and then what's going to happen here? Oh, well.
Oh.
Anything you can do, yeah. Meanwhile, I just want to see what happened to Kip Stevens to cause all this issue then. Well, he's already off the track at this point. I want to see why blew the engine. I think he had a slow down penalty anyway.
Did he forget to change gear? I don't know what he was doing there. Here we go, going on board. Let's hear the bang.
Oh,
there's all sorts going on the timing screen.
He's revving the life out of it. And then, any moment now, bang.
I feel like there might have been a pile-up, Adam, because we've seen a lot of drivers dropping down.
Trying to find
We might have missed quite a big one.
Max Wright is off and crashed, and I think he might have been...
There's a few who've gone here.
Right, let's have a look.
I'm certain of it. Because there were loads of people dropping down the order. Starts with that. Oh, and he goes right across. Oh, dear. And into Bibby. Oh, God.
Hurtles into him. I think it's going to carry on
The
here.
sausage curb acted as a launch pad.
Oh. And then he falls over to the side of the road.
Flight.
I think, well,
I think that is.
We've seen
The
it
Wright
here.
brothers did invent aeroplanes, Adam, and maybe it's got something to do with it. He gets quarter panelled, bless it. Oh, bang! And then over he goes. Oh.
They carried on from there.
What on there? I don't even know really what caused it.
Baby's
to be honest.
Baby's going to crash again in a second, so let's see what's going to happen here.
He probably can't steer properly.
No.
Yep. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and he's embedded. He's embedded in the wall, his baby. Dear me. So who was it? Who was it who quarter panelled Max Wright then? He was in Evolution Racing, I think. I don't exactly know who it was. Up the inside then goes. Well, that's Matt Bunn and Michael Blake battling it out. Bunn started on the front row. And we've got a side-by-side action with Chepelevsky.
That's CQR's old livery, I think. I don't know.
It is.
I don't know whether Matt Bunn's just been away for some time. Steve Baxter's come into the pit lane.
Glatzel sets the fastest lap, 2 minutes 10.8. That's up there with the qualifying standard, Adam, as well.
Yeah, good job by him so far. Obviously, in race 1, he got a... Goodness me.
Well, luckily for Matt, it's good to see him back in the Kia Optima. He can't spin these cars very easily anyway.
Oh, hello.
Which is good.
He's getting used to this again as Jack
He'll
McIntyre.
love me for that, by the way.
Oh, McIntyre.
I'll get inundated with a private message later on after that. McIntyre knocking 7 bells out of each other on this straight.
Up the inside goes McIntyre's teammate Ross McFarlane there. Doesn't get through going into Brooklands. What about Lovefields? Oh, that's McNally going into the back of him.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
it's a little bit of a quarter panel.
It is a fight for the lead between 2 teammates, Daniels and Glatzel.
Let's see then who's going to come out on top. Going to cops together. And that's Daniels. That's him yielding, it looks like, I think.
They made a right mess of that because here come the Evolution Racing Team cars right onto their back bumper straight away. They
lost at least 2/3 of a second there, I think.
Gave each other a bit too much room. Look at Stellion, that's the rallycross experience coming in handy there. Sideways as sideways as you like through there.
Well, of course, this circuit does possess a rallycross layout, but I don't think it's in iRacing as I'm aware.
Yeah, you saw on our Facebook page we did a bit of a meme about the fact that there is no Stowe layout here, and I think they used part of that Stowe layout on the rallycross circuit.
I'm surprised at that actually, because as Bun makes the move again in Stowe, and this isn't necessarily a criticism of iRacing, this is actually a compliment of iRacing, that pretty much all the other tracks they've done, Adam, they've pretty much scanned every possible layout that there is. And given us pretty much everything, but there are at least 2 layouts on this circuit that we don't have, because there is a longer variant of the national circuit and the Stowe circuit, and if you add the rallycross layout, that's 3 of the 6 layouts that we don't get.
Oh,
I think technically we don't get the bike layout either. Which I know isn't a lot different, but
yeah, it's only a slightly tighter exit of Chapel as Bun has got something wrong.
Suspension damage?
I did hear a load of smashing on the front straight, so I wonder if...
It looked awful trying to turn into Village, didn't it? Didn't look much better in the loop either. He's got issues. What's his wheel at? If we go on the roll bar. Is he steering straight?
Looks like it.
Looks like it. Got no pace all of a sudden. Don't really know why that is. Here's McIntyre.
There is Daniels, who's in 2nd place. Glatzel has now managed to get 8/10 of a second. I wonder if the order may be, will you now try and keep these 2 at bay? Stalin Chapelewski, Rallycross champion, I believe. Wojciech Savidovic, 4-time BSRTC champion. It is a tall order.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh dear, and I think he might... The way may have...
And where there's a slight off, there's a slight off, and there goes through Chapelewski and Savidovic.
Is he going to get mugged here? Oh!
Whoa, close with the multiple-time champion. Good exit by both men actually, but Savidovic got the better of it.
Bit of side drafting maybe down the hanger straight.
You can pick up side draft in these Kia Optimas.
Slow down for one of the
subtle.
Team Mad cars in the background too. Here comes Savidovic, you're right.
I think that's Blake who's slow. Glatzel leads by 7/10.
Now what can the Evolution Racing Team cars do about that lead at the front? Oh dear, something's kicked off here. Paul Smith.
Oh, bang, 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 bang.
It's Sutton and Smith.
Multiple collisions there.
Over the line, they go on to lap 5. I wonder if there's a replay to provide some sort of context on this. Here it is. Oh, just as we cut away, as Smith and Sutton look like. Oh, I think. Oh no, the teammates crashed.
The Monegasque director has dropped a bollock on that one, I think.
I just got Stalin Chapelewski and Wojciech Savidovic crashed on my timing screen. I've got all over excited and want to know what happened. But
what has happened? I'll tell you, it didn't come up on my screen.
Oh God, sorry everybody.
I wonder if I'm going to just check something. I wonder if the loop is so slow that it's just coming up as I'm crashing when I'm going through it.
Well,
now
through the island section and That was
Sakovic having a nibble.
Yeah. It's the time of the year of Love Island. He very nearly got dumped off at Islands there. Oh!
Oh my God!
We're back up to live pictures here, and Paul Smith is withstanding immense pressure from Jack Sedgwick.
As he was in the first race, but it's not for P3 now, it's for 14th. Still just as important for the championship. Sedgwick is very fast in this S's section.
Whoa!
Oh, big nerf!
Oh!
And then back again! They're both off. Smith's gone through the FIA approved gravel trap. Oh! I don't know where he's gone. There he is.
Now it's just down, there's two. It's Sakovic and Sedgwick. Sakovic already has got a bit of damage at the front of his Team Mad car. I can tell you that the lead is coming down too. It's down to half a second between Glatzel and Stellion. Oh!
Been kicking the you-know-what out of each other on this lap, these midfield runners.
Oh,
Sakovic up the inside into Vale. Trying to maintain that position. He has to go wide through Club. Sedgwick might dive down the inside in the second part. He can't quite. Is he going to have a go into Abbey? Adam has to be brave if he does.
Watching on. Up the inside he goes. He sends it. But look at the speed.
Does it reach its destination? Sort of. Oh! He's
Wow.
nearly off. What a move by Sedgwick if he can maintain it. Who's that going?
That's
That's
Hadfield.
Adam Hadfield. Track limits are involved. He's obviously close by.
Now Paul Smith's back involved again after his trip wide. Something's kicking off here between Dan Brown and Christian Rose.
Well, those two, Smith and Hadfield, they were 1 and 2 in race 2.
Now they're nearly at the bottom end of the top 20 as Hadfield locks the brakes.
Oh, there's a collision.
That was 62 getting hit there by Paul Smith. That was
Oh,
Hadfield.
and through is going Rob Graham, and Hadfield is giving his teammate absolutely no mercy at all.
I think it's probably in the team code, I think, as they go for the right-hander. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our position on the track on Silverstone.
So, oh,
Very wide goes Hadfield there. That's just going to allow them all back into contention.
that's how frantic this meeting's been. I haven't even had a chance to do my monthly Scottish independence joke, but I can't quite find one. As here comes Paul Smith. Get out, lads, while you still can. That's what I say. As much as I don't want them to leave, but it might be better for them if they do escape the sinking ship and all that. As here's Baker then trying to stay in front of Pete Harridan. He is doing. The gap at the front now, Adam, is very little. It's 1 second covering the top 3. Oh, contact! And that's Graham going sideways. Courtesy of Smith, I think.
Plenty of battles everywhere you look, but you're right, it is 0.2 of a second.
Matt Bunn's out, Adam.
Yeah, Bunn's called it a day. Look at this. This is the battle for the lead then. This is Glatzel. When we last looked at this battle, he had about a second in hand. It's pretty much nothing now as we go on to the Wellington straight. Lap 7 of 10, so he's got 2/3 of a lap to keep them at bay. We saw how Paul Smith was able to do so. Can the V Racer car do so?
Well, if Alex Simpson's watching this, I'm sure he'll be cheering on his colleagues. Evolution Racing Team cars. Paul Smith's dropped down the order, as has Chris Wood and Sean Gardner. So if something's happened in the midfield, those two have ended up pretty much together and pretty much at the back of the field.
Here's a look while we still can. I don't think Paul's going to... clobbered the inside curb there, or the inside maybe? Oh no.
Oh. So 222 is Daniel Brown.
And
he got hit from behind. Sean Gardner's not going to end up getting collected, is he?
Was,
no, I think he just had to slow down quite a lot, didn't he, in the slow part?
We'll show it one more time. Play. Just trying to find the CQR card that it was.
Oh, there it was.
Bang.
Newman?
Yeah, you're right. I think
Newman,
it is
I
Newman,
think. And imagine what ailed Gardner was maybe having to just slow down. Now, there's 1/10. 1/10! This is it. Sven Glatzel trying to keep the lead ahead of Stelian Chepelevsky. Stelian had to go into Vale, but, well, managing to survive for another lap, Adam. On to lap 8 here at Silverstone of 10.
So 3 laps to go, including this one. Glatzel, he's just got to drive in the mirrors, I think, now for the next 3 laps. He's covering the inside. Oh, he gets it! Just a little bit. Able to stay on course.
Sideways.
It's an okay exit. Used a bit of that inside curve as well. The car was rattling around a little bit. Now we're going to fully see the speed of the Evolution Racing Team Kias in the slipstream here.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's quite close enough here, Cheppy. He might have a go into Brooklands anyway. No, not close enough. You need to be somewhat alongside, or at least very close to utilise that inside line.
Positions changing left, right and centre in the midfield as well. Sutton's now up to 9th place. He's got past McNally, and it is very close between Rob Graham and Dan Brown, but look at Savidovic. He's trying to get past his teammate too. Going down the front straight here, going into Copse.
It's going to be a tough resolution here, isn't it, between these 3, and then, in fact, 5 of them now, the 2 V-Racer cars well and truly on the scene. Oh, very much so. He's gone as McIntyre. He has appeared again.
On to the hanger straight again.
3 on 2 now. The handicap match.
So it's a 5-car scrap for the lead now. This could be anybody's.
I won't put it past Daniels getting involved in this as well, who the pole sitter. If they start squabbling, he's 2.5 seconds behind.
Glatzel has been shown in... Oh, I heard something exploding. I'll start again. Sven Glatzel has been proven in the past to defend quite resolutely if somebody's trying to get by, so I think this could get pretty lively as we come round to start lap 9.
The only thing that's exploded so far is Kip Stevens' engine, sadly for him. 3/10 for Glatzel, then 6/10 for Savidovic, 8/10 for McIntyre, 1 second for McFarlane. That's how close it is. 1 second covers the top 5. You'll not see that in many other racing series on iRacing. And diving up the inside is Chepelevsky. Big wide line taken by Glatzel to try and stave him off, but is it inevitable? I don't know, you know, Adam, because Sven's putting the car where he needs to.
Weaving it about a little bit. You can see him moving over to the left. Is Chepelevsky going to try and get done around the outside? Is Glatzel even going to make the corner? He brakes so late. He misses the first apex, but he crucially gets the car over to the inside. Ooh. I thought he was almost going to open the door then for him going into Luffield. And look how dusty it is going through Luffield. A lot of dirt has been put up onto the track because the driver's using a variety of different lines. He's almost cutting the course there, Chepelevsky.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can... like I say, all the drivers pretty much... Oh, he's not going for Intercops, is he? I think the answer is no. I think he's trying to unsettle Glatzel. But what it might have done is made Wojciech Savidovic very interested indeed. 2 laps to go, Adam. Well, 1.5.
Whoa! McFarlane! What a move! Well, it nearly worked. And it might still work.
It wasn't McFarlane, Adam. It was McIntyre.
God. Yelling out random names. Oh, here comes McFarlane, and here comes Stelian Chepelevsky for the lead.
Mahatma Gandhi, you know. Anybody, really. As
not that we're comparing.
For the lead. They're side by side. It's only Gandhi's flip-flop separating them, I think.
Stelian Chepelevsky up the inside. He's trying to liberate Sven Glatzel here.
He's trying to liberate the first position from Sven Glatzel, that's it. But he can't do it just yet.
And Glatzel is driving beautifully. This is one of the best races I've seen from the German in quite some time.
Right, final lap at Silverstone, at the new Silverstone. Final lap.
He's sliding though.
Savinovic nearly slides into the side of him. Here comes McIntyre. Where's Savinovic going, in fact? Oh my word.
I still maintain that is a rubbish camera angle, and I know there's nothing you can do about it. Can't see anything. Round the outside in the loop. It's 2 packs now, Adam. It's Glatzel and Chepelevsky, and then it's these 3.
Got grass track in there. Wojciech Savinovic. Go. On board briefly. Oh, look at that. Maybe a slowdown for Wojciech. Oh, he was on the grass, wasn't he, on the exit of Aintree? No wonder he was so slow down the Wellington straight there.
McFarlane through into 4th, though. He'll be happy with those extra championship points. Will Daniels still interested? He's closed the 2-second gap that he had before.
Half a second.
Ash Sutton's now at the head of the second pack, 5 seconds behind this lot.
Yeah, he's gained 23 places. 4/10 of a second all of a sudden between Glatzel and Chepelevsky. It's going to have to be the second half of Chepelevsky's race meeting if he wants to try and get the win here. And he's already taken 1/10 away.
Yeah, you might think it's not a lot, 4/10 of a second. In the Kia Optima, it's actually a reasonable distance, as you can see here. What has Steljan Chepelevsky, World Championship Rallycross driver, got in his locker to try to close in on Glatzel? He's not going to mind if the car goes sideways. That's for sure. Glatzel got a really good run there through Beckett's.
Yeah, it was a compare and contrast there, because Chepelevsky was mighty through Maggots and Beckett's, but then through Chapel, Glatzel may have just done enough to get him a race victory here.
Oh, he's gone wide! He's gone wide at Stowe! And he's close to within a few centimetres, Chepelevsky. Here we go! Into Vale, is there going to be a move? Glatzel holds the inside. He's going to go for the long cutback. He's going to park it on the apex as well. Oh, it's worked twice! It's worked twice in the night. Sven Glatzel victorious in round 3 of the evening here at Silverstone. It was what Ash Sutton did in race 1, and Glatzel again perfectly blocked him off.
Well, what a win, what a race meeting. Race victory in the Pro-Am category goes to Will Daniels. He may not have won overall after starting from pole, but he takes the Pro-Am victory. Very, very close between Pete Howard and Dave Baker, and there's still racing going on. It's Newman versus Graham here, and it's going to be Graham that holds on for P19. Who's the last car on the track? It's this man, it's George Simmons. He's in P24. Matt Bunn's out.
Smith down in 21st.
Here he is. Oh, he stopped after the line. I was worried then for a brief moment. It's Roberts P23. Here's Simmons. He's trying to get the car home. Trying to turn it this way, and oh my god, he's going for the pits.
Yeah, I think that's the safest way.
Downshifting. And
it's gone, I think.
There we go.
Oh, there it is.
And there he goes across the line.
That is the end of that. Oh dear. Alex Simpson's going to have to dip into his wallet for more engines, I think, after this one.
Imagine if he ran an F1 team.
God. Well,
whatever. Well, hopefully,
I think we need to cut ties with Evolution Racing due to poor performance.
And we don't like the PC nature of
of the BSRTC. Stupid rich energy idiots, dear me.
The funny thing is that their parody Twitter account put out a better worded statement than their official Twitter. But anyway, Sven Glatzel,
poor energy, yes.
Sven Glatzel wins the final race of the day. Terrific job by him and the team. Steljan Chepelevsky finishes in second, only 2 tenths away in the end. Ross McFarlane completes the podium for that, and two V racer cars on the podium too. Then it's Wojciech Savinovic in 4th, getting done by McFarlane towards the end. Will Daniels in 5th. Jack McIntyre, I don't know what happened to him there. He finished in 6th place in the end. He was trying to get past Wojciech earlier on. Finishes down there. Ash Sutton in 7th, Dave Baker 8th, and Pete Howard in 9th for trio CQR cars there. Then it's Jack Sedgwick. Then we've got 5 CQR, not CQR, 5 Pro-Am cars in succession. McNally, Woodhouse, Blake, Hadfield and Sakovic. Then it's Christian Rose, Dan Brown, Chris Wood there in 18th place. 19th for Rob Graham. Then it's Pete Newman, then Paul Smith, Sean Gardner, then John Roberts, and then the cars that had issues during the race. George Simmons finished 1 lap down in the end. Matt Bunn 4 laps down. Then it's Did he only turn up just for this race? I can't remember seeing him in race 1 and race 2. Then it's James.
Who was that?
Matt Bunn.
He might have been in race 1. I'm sure I saw his name, but I don't know if he took the start.
Baxter, Bibby, Wright, and then Stevens blowing up on the hanger straight in at the start of the race. Right then, who is waiting to chat? So we've got 2 drivers. We've got Adam McNally and we've got Paul Smith. 2 drivers that know each other well from what's gone on tonight.
Let's get McNally in. He's had a fairly eventful meeting. Adam McNally joins in the commentary box. Welcome.
Good evening.
Adam, good to speak to you again, mate. Silverstone GP, first time in the Kia Optima. How was it out there? It looked like a lot of fun.
Been probably some of the best racing I've ever done in the Kia. Really, really enjoyed it. Bit devastated me contact with Pete got something DQ'd at the end of race 2, but apart from that, the racing's been absolutely amazing.
What is it about this track that always seems to bring out the good racing? I mean, it's wide, it's technical, it's got pretty much every type of corner, available.
Yeah, that's it. And it's got some long straights as well to try and hang on to the tails of the faster lads. But, like I said, just found myself surrounded by pro drivers all night, and it was some great racing.
How did you find the starts here? Because we see a lot in real life that the first sector, because it's fast into slow, can cause some problems. How did you find that?
I found that race 1 start was great, 2 not so good, race 3 was even more shocking. I think it's all on that, depending on that wheel spin. If you're going to get it right, you get a good launch into turn 1. But even if you're a bit slow and someone gets you inside, it's quite possible to hold it on the outside, ready for turn 2. And then into the tight right-hander, you can hold it on the outside, which I found was the line I preferred, to be honest with you, on that one.
I think that's what we found a lot. That's what we saw a lot, was just simply the sheer number of corners where there were 2 lines to be had, and it seemed to definitely make it interesting. Do you think when the Audi comes, do you think it's going to be the same sort of racing?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so, but with a bit more front-end grip. Because not nice understeering into somebody mid-corner. But as long as the race is like this.
That's it. We saw some fantastic racing tonight. We had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, a bit of shouting, which is always good. And we had a great time. Give us your the sponsor list, and you've got a more reputable energy company than Haas F1 have.
Great, but I just
because it actually exists.
Class. Well, a big shout out to you lads for the broadcast. Everyone who works behind the scenes with the league. Then we've got our main sponsors, Excite Energy. We've got Motorsport Days Live, Prio Premature Baby Foundation, Racer Mentor, LuxSim 24, ESG UK, and ER12 Gaming. And that's it. Thanks.
Perfect. Well, Adam, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next race meeting.
Right. Thanks for having us.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, always good to speak to Adam McNally, and we're joined now in the commentary box. Adam Bath with Paul Smith.
Oh, Paul, that was an interesting debut race for the Kia at the new Silverstone, and an interesting one for you as well. A lot of battles going on with the likes of Hadfield and a lot of Auto Met Not Kill cars too. It was a pretty eventful evening for you.
That was absolutely crazy. That really was. That second race, I said on my my live stream, looking in the mirror, that it looked like I was towing a caravan on a bank holiday Monday. Oh, bank holiday Monday, yeah. I had that many cars just in my rearview mirror. It was absolutely insane, and to be able to keep it in front for all that time was it was incredible. I'm absolutely made up with that result in race 2. The race 1 result as well. By race 3, though, I was absolutely shattered because this morning I was in hospital getting some treatment done for a genetic disorder that I have, and it just leaves you absolutely drained. And one of the pieces of advice to say is don't do anything physical or exerting. So,
not being funny, Paul, but it's quite warm today as well, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's not the easiest one, even just sat here talking about it.
and to be driving and getting punted about by a load of people in that one. By the third race, I was just glad to finish because I was absolutely spent after that second one.
Oh yeah, the defensive driving race 2 was fantastic, and at the end you even got a little bit of a bigger reward because unfortunately for Mashik, it looked like he had a slowdown penalty, so you were promoted to second.
Yeah, the numpty went and cut the last corner, didn't he? And by the time he realised he had a slowdown, he was 50 yards from the finish line. So, yeah, that wasn't a good one, but a good result for me. I think that's my highest result of the season so far. So I'm made up with that. It was a good evening for me. Good evening for most of the team as well. I know Michael Blake was struggling a little bit today, but you just get those days every so often where things aren't quite going how you want them to go. But because Lord knows I had that at the start of the season. So yeah, overall feel good for the final. It's just 2 weeks of the regular season.
I know, yeah. The final question before we get the sponsors out of you is it's Indianapolis Road next week. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough said about that. The better. It's one of the worst tracks for understeer in this car.
Oh, it's making me nervous just thinking about it, really. But
it is not fun at all. But we're all in the same boat. It's the same for everybody. It's just some of these drivers can seem to hook it up better than others. So yeah, it was good. It always produces real good racing though, because of the drag strip. You basically got the drag out of the penultimate corner and then all the way down to turn 1. So it gives you guys something to talk about.
I was going to say, a form of consolation is at least it's not Indianapolis bike trying to get a Kia through that long left-hander at the start of the lap. Doesn't bear thinking about. Well, yeah. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Yeah, as always, thank you to Fanatec and Overclockers UK. They support our team, and we've got an affiliate link for both of those. You can check them on our social media and on my Twitch channel. Simmortal, Phoenix Racing, Simon Racing Report, Calder Rescue, and all of my Twitch viewers. Great.
Well, put on a great show today. I'm hoping that the viewers all enjoyed that. We enjoyed it too, and yeah, hopefully things go well at similar at Indianapolis next week.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Cheers, Paul.
Yeah, always good to speak to Paul Smith and good to see him have a good result here tonight, Adam. But I think that is about it for tonight. Terrific race meeting at Silverstone, and I for one am really glad to see you back.
Well, if that's the only time we're ever going to see the Kia Optima around this circuit, they definitely put on a show for us, as Paul was saying there. Race 2, probably up there with one of the craziest we've had in the BSRTC. I think the wider the tracks, the more insane it is. Get Malaysia on the calendar. That's an insanely wide track. But yeah,
why the hell not?
We're looking forward to Indianapolis next week, though.
Yeah, Indianapolis is always an interesting one, but I think. And I know there's a few drivers a bit of apprehension about it. We've had some big crashes before they've affected the championship, but hey, it's a fun circuit. Overtaking can be hard, and we'll see a lot of it, I'm sure. Right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This is from the BSRTC, from Andrew Woodhouse, from Adam Bath. It's good night for now, and it's good night for... Oh, never mind, we've messed it up. We're going now. Bye-bye.